Good morning. I'm working out in the yard garden or field garden, I like to call it. This is about 20 by 45, and I think we're going to extend it so it'll be closer to just over 50 feet to that post. This was where the Romas and tomatillos were, and some squash that I had, and due to early blight, I actually removed the tomatoes early, put cardboard down, and put some aged compost on that. So I will be working to actually now divide this into rows. I think we're going to do a 3-foot garden row, and then a 2-foot aisle, 3-foot garden row. And we'll do, I think we said 4 rows of those, probably pushing back towards the corn a little bit. We need to till up the corn area after I finish getting that last row down. So we'll till the rows for that. We'll add more compost, fertilizer, and then we're gonna also put aged mulch between all the rows and around the garden to try to help with the weeds for next year. Same thing with the market rows over here. We'll do the 2-foot rows will be mulched. And then I think we're gonna extend this out this way so get enough space. The sun's really low at this point of the year, but with these 2 trees down, when the sun is actually higher, this garden will get a lot more sun next year. All right, quick change of plans. We're still gonna, I think, do corn on this side. We just measured, and we have from that rock right there, actually it's a big boulder that we can't get out, over is 18 feet, and we're gonna actually add a aisle walkway at the end this side, so that'll go to 20 feet across this way. We're gonna continue to do the rows north to south, same as the corn rows, but these rows will be the 3 feet wide, so we can fit the garlic across them well, garlic and onions, and then also the tomatillos. This will do 4 rows, and we're gonna keep the walkway right here that we're gonna mulch, actually where the corn stalks are, we're pulling out. That will be mulched, and then so it will be 17 feet from here to, we're gonna extend to about there. So we'll have 17-foot rows. Just coming out to see what Jay was able to get done for the afternoon. Looks like we have beds ready for our garlic, which is really exciting. A little bit different than what it looked like this morning. He got the corn rows all tilled, so we still have to put the mulch between each of these rows, the mulch between the garlic and onion beds here and the corn beds there. So we'll have a nice walkway there, and then we need to continue the mulch all the way around the edge of the garden as well. But this looks fantastic. So I haven't been out for a few hours. I've been watching our dog. He's recovering from surgery. But we still need to add fertilizer and some compost in to these beds. And I'll need to add some fertilizer into these as well. And there's over here is the perennial bulb garden that we finished up. Those are already planted. But I'm excited. That means I can actually plant the garlic. While I've been inside with the pups, I just pulled apart all of the garlic heads we have for planting. We've got 3 types that I purchased, and then we have the one that my mom had passed down to me, that she's still growing up in Vermont as well, that we got at the farm that I actually grew up working at about 20 something years ago, 30 years ago maybe, probably 30 years ago. Yeah, it should be fun. I think there's music, Russian red, and German white, which is a porcelain. We have 300 cloves of those. We'll be planting them in the 3-foot or 30-inch rows here. We'll do 6 inches apart. So we should be able to get about 4 rows of garlic in each of one of these beds. So I'm out here, I just planted the garlic. It's late afternoon, so the sun's kind of brutal. I'm gonna go to this side. So we did these 3 beds here of 4 different types of garlic. 3 types that I ordered from Fedco seeds up in Maine. Russian red garlic. I broke them up yesterday and all the bulbs and got 150 cloves out of the 2 pounds of garlic bulbs for those ones. And so you can kind of see here, Jay made a PVC jig so that we could create the holes quickly. Spacing, I can show you here. The spacing on this is 6 inches, and then this part here is 5 inches. So we did 6 by 5 to fit a little bit more in there. There's a lot of different numbers that you can use for garlic spacing from all the extra research I did, and we chose to do 5 inches and 6 inches apart. The spacing looks fine to me. Visually also, just from what I've planted before, it's about what I did last year in the greenhouse. Some of the videos I watched and researched also said you can go down to 4 inches. I decided to go 4 and 5 just to give them a little bit more space, but we will be also fertilizing. We also had German white, 2 pounds of that from Fedco, and that was 73 cloves. So I showed you the Russian red, and then we had, this bed kind of fell apart. We had music also this year. These are 3 new varieties I haven't grown before, but all seem to be well liked. And then we had the garlic that we've been growing. This is the remaining cloves. I don't actually know what this is. It's been passed to me from my mom, who's grown hers for about 20 years up in Vermont. And we got some cloves from her last year, the year before, that we planted in the greenhouse. These are the ones that I grew this year and saved that we didn't eat. And then those actually originally came from the farm I grew up working at up in Vermont, which is kind of fun. This first row is Russian red, the whole row. And then we have some Russian red extras at the end of this row. Then we have the, let's see, I think those are the music, the large cloves here. And then we have some German whites. And then these are the ones that we had planted last year from Vermont. I don't know the variety. And then here, these are German, actually, sorry. This grouping right here is the music, and then the German whites. So now I got to go back through and cover over these. We need to pick up some straw. We'll put about 2 inches of straw over each one of these beds also to help protect them. Well, the garlic is now planted. We've got 3 rows. I haven't done the math yet for how much, but it should be over 300 cloves that we planted. So again, first year beds, but they are no-till, so hopefully we'll get a good production out of it next year. We'll see.